Thank you for joining us. My name is Will Salus. I'm the Vice President of Product and Technology at Opteon.
Hi, I'm Stacy Caprioli, Chief Appraiser at Opteon.
Today we're going to take a look at the summary page with 3.6. This is a brand new page that aggregates information from other pages within the report. Appraisers will not need to re-enter these pieces of information. They will be pulled from those other pages. Looking at the summary, we see a very clear way for the intended user to understand what is happening at the property and some of the conclusions that were found in the analysis. The opinion of market value, assignment reason, borrower's name, these are all pieces of information we've collected in our legacy forms. Stacy, when taking a look at the summary page, what stands out to you?
The first item that I see that is new to us is going to be the property valuation method, which as we are moving towards alternatives and modernization formatting, we're going to see this dropdown will now give you the ability to not only identify as a traditional appraisal, but also a hybrid appraisal, a desktop appraisal, or an exterior appraisal. So that gives the ability for us to understand how that appraisal is being formatted and the scope of work right up front in that summary section. Additional to that is going to be a new section called construction method, which you can see on this one is identified as site built. But however, we're going to also have a drop down where you can identify if it's a container, manufactured, modular, on-frame modular, site built, 3D technology, or other. And if you select other, you're going to have the ability to do some free-form text in there.
Additionally, we do report the overall quality and condition. Now, these are summarized from the exterior and interior ratings and reconciled for that overall rating, which we will touch on in a further video. The PUD, condominium, cooperative, or condop are also disclosed in this section and always represented in a report. So even though it's not a condo in this example, that no checkbox is still present in the summary. There is also an additional page for the subject property photo to display in the summary, which gives the intended user a clear and quick view of that subject property.
We are also now including something called units excluding ADUs. This is going to always be displayed. So this is going to be the number of separate living units on the subject property, not counting any ADUs. ADUs are going to be entered in on a separate field, and they are considered in the overall unit count. However, we want to separate that out for an understanding of units versus units with the ADU. There are some examples that you can see that if a single family property with or without an ADU is reported, you will put one unit in that field so that it makes it clear for the reader to understand. Additionally, there is another example there, the 3-unit property with or without an ADU, reporting that as 3 units in that field.
In the summary, our apparent defects, damages, and deficiencies are summarized. So all the damages, defects, and deficiencies are reported within their separate pages. Now, in the summary, if there is a required completion, inspection, or repair, this will display in the summary. We now see a structured way to report this information rather than using our addendum and commentary to write about these items. The feature, the location, adding a commentary description, how it affects the soundness or structural integrity, and the recommendation of the action and estimated cost to repair are all structured areas, which makes it clearer and better informing the intended user. For more information, please visit our landing page for 3.6.